Welcome to the OnlyRoofers podcast. My name's Elizabeth, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Shon and Terese from Lightning Exteriors. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Welcome.
So the reason we are interviewing them today is they have an amazing story to tell. If you can give us just a couple highlights about what happened to you over the last, let's say, 18 months, and share with our viewers a little bit about your story. We would love to hear it.
Yeah, the easiest way is to tell this is 4 years prior, everything's going smooth, two separate corporations tied together through a contract. Through that contract, I think we did a little over $20 million through all the agencies and stuff like that. So this year in April, I get a phone call, hey, you want to come on in the office? I said, sure. I proceeded to be told that they were closing their doors. My bad, I didn't have my own accountants. They covered all the bills, they did all that. They said they're closing the doors. And I said, what about profits? What about all that? They're like, we spent it.
Wow.
And I go, what about the customers that gave money for down payments?
Yeah.
And they said, we don't know. They spent it.
Wow.
So within 2 weeks after that date, we rebranded, new contract, new offices up and running in the 6 states we were in, and proceeded to keep our nose to the grindstone and just get work done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tremendous comeback story. So tell everyone what you guys were able to accomplish in this year, how you're going into 2022. Can't wait to hear some about that.
Start with all those people that gave money. We took care of all those customers, even at a loss. So it was somewhere 150, 200,000. We went in, took care of every one of those jobs.
The reason why I wanted to share this story is because that's to show you that there are great people in our industry, and there are people willing to do the right thing, even when they do get screwed over, because sometimes people handle that very differently, right? So let's talk a little bit about that as well, because that's a very strong moral compass.
Yeah.
We're very involved in the communities that we're in, and our sales teams live in those communities.
Yeah.
So it was very important that we take care of their
Reputation.
their reputation, and because that's where they live, that's where they're going to continue to sell. So after our rebranding, we said we're all wearing different logoed shirts, but we're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They were getting no information from the other companies, so we had to assure them everything was fine.
How were some of those conversations?
They were tough. They're very tough with customers. They see a company go under.
Yeah.
They wrote them the check.
Yeah.
And they're going, how are we going to what's going on?
Yeah.
So what I told my sales guys, my manager, I said, guys, the easiest way around this is be upfront, to the point, and let them know we're going to take care of this. We're backed with insurance. We have everything we need. We're bonded. We can do this.
Yeah.
We're a strong company.
Yeah.
So in the customer's eyes, they just want to know they're being taken care of. But to call a customer up and go, we're doing it under a new name and here's why, you had to be up front. You had to be point blank with them right up front.
And tell me a little bit about your mindset, right? Because this is a tough challenge to overcome for anyone. And we've all been through very hard times. So talk to me, tell me, how did you guys as a couple decide, this is our new strategy. We're not just going to go through this. We're going to grow through this and start now working together. Tell us a little bit about that journey, because that's just as impactful to me.
Well, after being married for 25 years, there's other tragedies that happen in your life together as a couple, and you just
Overcome
you overcome it. You have a positive attitude. It's like, we're going to just put one foot in front of the other and take it day by day and just get through this. I think it just came naturally.
Wow.
I've led business teams, so my path to roofing is like everybody else. We find it by accident.
Yeah.
So 20 plus years in the insurance world, running insurance agencies, running teams, financial world, investments, stuff like that. The one thing and being an athlete from my younger years is you have to look forward. don't worry about what happened in the past. You got to look forward. You got to grab the bull by the horns and go.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we did. We don't slow up. So it's my personality is drive.
Yeah.
It always has been.
Yeah, you're a driver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't slow up for anything.
Yeah. Is there times where you feel like maybe that is part of what kind of set you back? Because I know myself, sometimes I'm so busy trying to conquer the world, I forget to conquer the day, the moment. And that's something I've tried to become more aware of now and use that as now a learning tool.
Definitely. In the past, and probably with me not having certified accounting documents, having the outside accountant look at stuff, making sure all the books were there, getting to make sure the stuff they were showing me was real and authentic.
Yeah, that the numbers were
Because
adding
all
up.
I cared about was selling.
Yeah.
How do I build a sales team and how do I sell?
Yeah.
I didn't worry about the little things.
Yeah, yeah.
Now going forward, it's let's worry about the little things.
And for you, obviously now you're going to be, you said you're handling the numbers. What are some things that you do to keep track of, like, what are you looking at every day or every week or every month now?
Every day I am looking at QuickBooks. Everything's in QuickBooks. And gosh, I'm just looking at expenses. I'm making sure that they're tied to job costs. And I'm making sure that the deposits are getting made and that our accounts receivable looks good, or I understand what is outstanding and
Yeah.
why it is, you know.
Yeah.
And don't let that go. Don't let your accounts receivable get crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a huge problem for a lot of us, right? We just get so busy, we're just like, money's coming in, and then you don't really keep track of where is the money coming in and what's happening, what's getting paid out. So that's amazing. So tell me, I'm gonna want to get personal with you guys. So tell me a little bit about your marriage over the last 25 years. You guys said you've endured a lot of different things together, and now you're taking on the roofing industry together. Tell me a little bit about what are some of the things that you guys have, maybe the most impactful, something else that has happened to you guys, if you want to share.
I was adopted very young, brought up at that time I thought was a very good family. They gave me a lot of options of, you know, what I want to do in life, send me off to college,
Wow.
played professional sports. So that was all good. And then it was assumed you'd go into the family business.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so family business, not only was business, it was family. So every Sunday you had to have dinner. You went on vacations all together, the same thing.
Oh, wow.
It affected our marriage.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to go start something else in the insurance world because that's
Yeah.
all I knew.
Yeah.
We left. That was the last time I talked to my adopted parents
Wow.
and adopted siblings as well.
Wow.
So, you know, it was like, okay, I have no family.
Wow.
This is my family.
Wow.
And the kids I have are my family. Austin is 25 now, Addie's 21. So we've been through a lot. You know, in our history, we've claimed bankruptcy. Because
Yeah.
when you walk away from a family business, you're getting paid good and you're on your own now.
Yeah.
Go start
Yeah.
something.
Go start at zero.
You're right.
Go start at zero.
So even though
Which
I've
is hard
never-
to do.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Now, Terese loves playing on the internet. So I'm off into Des Moines, leave early, looking at buying a business, seeing if it was going to something I want. Come home at 9 o'clock at night, and she goes, I got to talk to you. I go, oh, what about? She goes, I found your birth mom.
I was, you know, I get up in the morning, get on the computer, look at Facebook, do whatever, look at emails. And on Facebook that week, it was like, what was the #1 song on your birth date? And mine was Sugar Shack, and I hate that song. But I looked up his, and it was Sugar Sugar. Well, while I was looking it up, I saw on the internet engine, it said, on the search engine, it said, I relinquished the rights to my son. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska, April 3rd, 1969. And I was like, well, my husband was born in Omaha, Nebraska, April 3rd, 1969. So I typed in those words on the search bar, and every internet site that came up had those words. It was ancestry.com, whatever. And I've never been able
So
to.
she was like trying to.
She was trying to find him.
Wow.
So I clicked on it, wrote her a message, and then I forgot about it because he was getting up to go to Des Moines, and the kids had to go to school. I had to go to work, and I get to work, and I had a BlackBerry at the time, and it's blinking
the
at.
BlackBerry.
I know, the Crackberry, and it's blinking at me, and I'm like, I read the email that I got, and it was her. It
Wow.
was his birth mom asking me questions because she'd
been looking for a long time.
She'd been looking for a long time, and she didn't know if this was some crazy person, trying to scam her. But so I answered what I knew. I said, "Do you have Facebook?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, let's friend each other." And so I'm looking through her Facebook, and then I get a Facebook request from her son, who is his brother.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And so I'm looking, and I looked.
The power of social media.
Yes. I looked at her son, and I was like, oh my God.
He looks like him.
Looked like him from about here down. I mean, they had the same Tevas, the same cargo shorts, the same calves, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And so I told him. I opened up a can of worms without his knowledge.
No, and it's all worked out. Mom lives down here in Kyle, just south of Austin. My brother lives north of Austin, and now we have an office in New Braunfels, Texas. So it's found the real family.
So how going through this, like obviously someone who's gone through something as traumatic or something that can be as traumatic as getting adopted, like how are you still able to keep such a positive mindset? Like that is really impressionable to me. And I'm sure a lot of us could learn about that because, we are so used to convenience, and just going through this kind of stuff and still being the person you are, it truly amazes me.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, kind of like I said, you can't look in the past.
Yeah.
Bad things are going to happen.
Wow.
It's going to happen to us again at some point. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's how you pick up the pieces and move forward and look at what's next. The other part is, you have to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
The latest thing with the roofing, I have a great team. I've got Matt Davis, who helps me. He's a general manager.
That's amazing.
It's, he's great. The sales guys, all of them. Everybody stood up and said, we're going to do the right thing. And
wow.
I wouldn't have a company without them.
Wow.
So it takes a village.
A group of people who decided to do the right thing after pretty much all getting screwed over and made sure that the cycle was going to end with them.
Yes.
They weren't going to screw anyone else over. That's
right.
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
What did you want to say, Terese? Sorry.
I also think you choose every day happiness. You just choose to be happy because the world is full of chaos and horrible things. But if you just choose every day, like, I'm going to have a good day, we're going to be positive, I'm going to be happy today, and it's not like Pollyanna and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know what's going on, but
Yeah.
I'm going to rise above the chaos.
Wow.
I'm not going to engage.
Thank you guys for sharing your light with us. Lightning exteriors.
No, thank
I can
you.
see why the name fits you. Guys, you guys definitely have a natural light within you, and I definitely have a lot of respect for you. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Any final tips, anything else you guys want to say to someone who's out there who may be going through a bad time with their roofing company, help them get to the end of their tunnel? What would you recommend to them?
Reach out. There's many companies. Business 411 is one, for example.
Thank you.
I mean, you got to take a step back, take a look at your business at a 30,000-foot level and go, okay, what can I fix today?
Yeah.
What can be fixed tomorrow? And then put a plan together, what can help you a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then 6 months down the road. Because if you don't put that plan together, you're just going to wallow where you're at.
Yeah.
You got to take that first step and take a look at it. But there's many of us in the industry that have been there. reach out to us.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
You got to ask for help.
Yeah, so everyone, my advice if you're going through a hard time is find a way to cope with what's happening right now, and then always plan for a way to get ahead of that, right? So sometimes we have to cope and deal with things, but we want to still remain proactive and remain strong, keep that light like Terese and Shon have done. So thank you so much for watching another episode of the OnlyRoofers podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your story, being vulnerable, and opening up with others. I'm sure it's going to impact someone out there. So have an awesome day, everyone, and catch us on the next episode of the OnlyRoofers podcast.